What is something you're doing every day, without even realizing it, was quietly damaging your prostate? I'm Dr. Mavis Thornton, a senior wellness specialist with decades of experience helping older gentlemen regain comfort, dignity, and peace of mind in their golden years. And today on Elderly Active Life, we're uncovering 10 seemingly innocent habits that could be silently enlarging your prostate. Stick with me, because recognizing and reversing just one of these could mean better sleep, fewer bathroom trips, and a much more comfortable life. Before we dive in, go ahead and tap that like button if you're here to take your health into your own hands. We upload helpful videos like this every single day, so make sure you're subscribed too. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked culprits. Habit number 10. Skimping on water like it's a strategy. Meet Harold, a 72-year-old retired history teacher from Kentucky. Years of managing high schoolers made him strategic by nature. So, when frequent nighttime urination started disrupting his sleep, Harold came up with what seemed like a clever solution. Drink as little water as possible after noon. Lesson means less out, he figured. But within weeks, Harold wasn't just waking up less. He was dealing with sharp burning sensations every time he urinated, constant urgency during the day, and an uncomfortable pressure low in his belly. What happened? Here's the real deal. When you don't drink enough water, your urine becomes highly concentrated, darker, more acidic, and full of waste. That concentrated urine doesn't just irritate your bladder, it aggravates your prostate too. The prostate sits just below the bladder and surrounds the urethra. So when irritation hits, both structures take a hit. To make matters worse, Harold's blood pressure medication was a diuretic, meaning it made dehydration even more likely. Many men unknowingly take medications that pull water from the body. Dehydration plus medication? That's a direct route to inflammation, and chronic inflammation is one of the driving forces behind prostate enlargement. So what's the simple fix? Sip water consistently throughout the day, even if it means an extra bathroom trip. Don't wait until you're parched. Aim for light yellow or clear urine, and avoid the trap of front-loading all your hydration in the evening. Spread it out. Hydration isn't the enemy of good sleep. It's one of your strongest allies in preventing prostate problems. Habit number 9, the couch potato trap. Lloyd, 68, adored his recliner. After decades working in construction, he felt he'd earned the right to relax. And who could argue? He could spend an entire afternoon watching fishing tournaments, feet up, cold drink in hand. But Lloyd started noticing a dull ache in his lower abdomen and a strange sense of pressure when he sat too long. The culprit? Immobility. When we sit for extended periods, especially on soft cushions that tilt the pelvis backward, blood flow to the pelvic region drops significantly. The prostate, which thrives on circulation, starts to swell like a sponge with nowhere for the fluid to go. The longer you sit, the more lymph and waste stagnate in the tissues, and the prostate is right in the center of that storm. Add in weight gain from inactivity, and you've got a slow burn of inflammation day after day. But Lloyd didn't need to hit the gym to make a difference. He started a new habit, standing up every 30 minutes. He'd walk to the kitchen, stretch his back, even do light squats using his chair. It wasn't about workouts, it was about motion. Those little breaks restored circulation and eased pressure on his pelvic floor. Bottom line, sitting still presses pause on your body's natural healing systems. Break the cycle one movement at a time. Habit number 8, too much caffeine, not enough balance. Wesley, 70, was a jazz drummer with fingers faster than most people half his age. He swore by his morning ritual: black coffee, then a stronger cup, then another. By noon, he was 5 cups deep and wired like a cymbal. But Wesley was also experiencing frequent bathroom trips, a jittery bladder, and pelvic tension that threw off his drumming. Caffeine, especially in large amounts, stimulates the nervous system and tightens the smooth muscles involved in urination. It also increases bladder contractions, which creates the sensation of urgency, even when the bladder isn't full. And if your prostate's already enlarged, that urgency feels like panic. Wesley didn't need to give up coffee completely, but he did learn to swap his afternoon cups with calming herbal teas, like chamomile or rooibos. He cut his caffeine by half, and within 2 weeks, his urgency decreased and he could sleep through the night again. Moderation is key. Your nervous system is like a jazz rhythm. Too much tension throws off the whole beat. Habit number 7, fiery foods and packaged plates. Bernard from Tucson was a diehard fan of buffalo wings, instant noodles, and microwavable meatloaf. He joked that he could turn any meal into a 5-alarm fire. But beneath the jokes, Bernard was dealing with pelvic pain and irregular bowel movements, which only made his urinary issues worse. Turns out, highly processed foods and spicy additives can inflame the gastrointestinal tract, and that inflammation radiates to the prostate. Spicy foods activate nerve endings and increase blood flow, which can lead to more pressure in the pelvic region. And preservatives, sodium, and trans fats from processed meals? They stoke systemic inflammation, which worsens every prostate-related condition. Bernard didn't become a salad lover overnight, but he started making small switches: fresh salsa instead of bottled hot sauce, grilled chicken instead of wings, steamed greens with olive oil instead of mac and cheese. He discovered that flavor doesn't have to come from fire or a factory. It can come from fresh herbs, garlic, lemon, and whole ingredients your body actually knows how to use. Habit number 6, ignoring the call of nature. Jacob, 75, had a green thumb and a stubborn streak. He'd work for hours in his garden, ignoring the signs his body was sending. When the urge to urinate came, he'd push it off, just one more plant, he'd say. But one day, he found himself straining to go. The discomfort was sharp, and he felt like he could never fully empty his bladder. The act of holding it in stretches the bladder muscles and increases pressure on the prostate. Over time, this can weaken the bladder's ability to contract and confuse the signals between your brain and urinary system. In Jacob's case, the repeated strain led to chronic retention. He had to see a urologist and begin physical therapy for pelvic relaxation. His new rule? When the urge hits, you go. No excuses, even if it means pausing mid-garden or getting up during a game. It's about listening to your body while it whispers, so it doesn't have to scream later. Habit number 5, smoking or breathing someone else's smoke. Ernie never smoked a cigarette in his life, but he was married to a smoker for 38 years. Weekends were filled with family cookouts, friends puffing cigars, and smoky poker nights. It seemed harmless until his prostate started giving him real trouble. Most people don't realize that secondhand smoke is just as harmful to the tissues around the prostate. The toxins reduce oxygen in the blood, impair circulation, and increase oxidative stress, leading to chronic irritation in organs like the prostate and bladder. Ernie developed chronic prostatitis, a condition that made sitting painful and urination unpredictable. Once he eliminated smoke exposure, adding HEPA filters at home, avoiding smoky venues, and encouraging loved ones to smoke outdoors, his symptoms eased. Whether you're inhaling directly or indirectly, smoke is inflammation in a cloud. Don't breathe it in. Habit number 4, skipping doctor visits. Some men are brave about everything except going to the doctor. Take Raymond, 63, tough as nails, never missed a day of work in 40 years. But he avoided checkups like they were jury duty. He finally went in when his frequent urination became too disruptive. The diagnosis? Advanced BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia with bladder damage. A situation that could have been caught years earlier with a 10-minute exam. The truth is, prostate enlargement doesn't always come with early warning signs. It can sneak up, growing quietly until it starts to interfere with daily life, or worse, until it masks signs of something more serious, like cancer. Annual screenings like the PSA blood test or a quick digital rectal exam are simple tools that catch problems before they grow out of hand. Think of them like oil changes for your health. Early detection doesn't just save your prostate, it protects your independence. Habit number 3, meat every day, no breaks. Malcolm, 74, swore that a day without steak was a day wasted. Burgers for lunch, brisket for dinner, it was his routine. But Malcolm started noticing sluggish digestion, nighttime urgency, and creeping weight around his midsection. His urologist explained that a meat-heavy diet, especially with red and processed meats, increases inflammation and throws hormones out of balance, particularly testosterone, which is directly tied to prostate health. Plus, meat-based meals often lack fiber, which causes constipation, a problem that puts additional strain on the pelvic floor and bladder. Malcolm didn't have to give up meat entirely, but he found balance. He tried meatless Mondays, swapped sausage for grilled fish, and learned to love hearty lentil soups and roasted vegetables. Your plate doesn't have to be a battlefield. It can be a tool for healing. Habit number 2, belly fat that won't budge. Roger, 67, had a proud belly from years of good living. But what he didn't know was that fat stored around the midsection is hormonally active. It produces inflammatory chemicals and disrupts testosterone and estrogen balance. That extra weight wasn't just cosmetic. It was compressing his organs, contributing to frequent urination, and fueling prostate enlargement. Even a modest 5 to 10 pound loss significantly reduced his symptoms. He didn't go on a crash diet. He took a walk after dinner. He cut out sugary drinks. He started cooking more meals at home. Progress, not perfection. His pants fit better, but more importantly, his bladder did too. Habit number 1, letting stress run the show. Frank, 69, always said he was fine, but his body disagreed. He tossed and turned at night. His urination pattern became erratic, and he snapped at little things he used to laugh off. Stress activates the fight or flight system, which increases cortisol levels and tenses up the pelvic floor muscles. It suppresses healing and worsens inflammation, especially in the prostate, which is rich in nerve endings. Frank's breakthrough came not from a pill, but from breathing. 5 minutes a day of focused deep breathing, followed by light stretching, a short walk outdoors, a call with an old friend. Stress is invisible, but its impact on your body is very real. Don't wait for a breakdown. Treat peace of mind like any other health goal. Something to practice, protect, and prioritize. Now you know the 10 habits. So here's the big question. Which one will you change today? You don't have to do them all at once. Start with 1. Maybe it's more water. Maybe it's calling your doctor. But take that first step now. Because the truth is, your prostate is paying attention even when you're not. If you found this helpful, leave a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might need it. And don't forget, we post new health insights for active seniors every single day right here on Elderly Active Life. Subscribe now and make your next decade your healthiest yet. Until next time, I'm Dr. Mavis Thornton. Stay strong, stay curious, and stay moving.